Hello and a very warm welcome back to the home. We apologize for the technical issues that we had, but luckily we are back here for you and we are full of motivation. And next to me is Joachim Kranz, and we already spoke about the importance of the packaging printing for IST mats. And I would like to forward now the word to you. So you have the chance to make your presentation and we're looking forward to it.
Great, my pleasure. Thank you for the introduction, and I'm jumping right into the presentation.
Makes totally
Thank
sense.
you very much. So I will be talking about curing in packaging, and as we already said, packaging is a very important application for IST mats, and I will be going forward with that. There is one other thing. Here we are. Thank you. Now I can switch my presentation. So curing for packaging, why is that that important? It's really in packaging there are so many different applications. The UV curing is ideal for fulfilling those applications. There is glossing applications, there is coating applications, there is pearl effects, there is raised applications, all of those, let's say, complex applications are performed in packaging, and there it's ideal to have UV as a curing application. And of course, our packaging customers have, to a large degree, offset machines, sheet fed offset machines, which is my responsibility from a sales perspective. And those machines are running 12, 15, 18,000 sheets per hour, and you need a really strong high-end curing application to cure these sheets. So we at IST Mats, and you heard that before, we have a broad variation and a broad bandwidth of different solutions in the lamp and in the LED business. And for packaging, we are usually not having the whole application, but we are usually have to implement the high-end applications, the real high-power applications when it comes to lamp, or at the same time when it comes to LED. And I will be talking about that in the next slides as well. So this one is a rather technical slide, but I like it to some degree because it also shows the different perspectives from a lamp and from an LED. As it's well known, there are photo initiators in the ink which have to be initiated, and a lamp is creating a rather broad bandwidth of light, and it's straightforward to find those to find the right wavelength, so to say, to have the right photo initiators to be cured. When it comes to LED, it's a very narrow bandwidth of light, 385, 395 nanometers, and there is more difficult to have the right mixture of ink with the photo initiators for the suppliers to exactly match those wavelengths and find the right formulation. So, but that's an important difference. And let's go to the next slide then. I want to show a little bit the difference. Again, it was shown in previous presentations from lamp to LED. On the left side, we have a lamp solution. We at IST Mats are really, this is our bread and butter business for many decades, 10, 20, 30 years. And as I mentioned before, there is a broad spectrum of light, and therefore the ink and coating suppliers can offer a broad range of chemistry, so to say. And there is also, it's easy to handle when the lamp, for example, is end of life, you can easily replace it. So that's a well-established technology, and a lot of packaging printers are using that as their preferred method. On the other hand, there is the LED. The LED is, I would say, has big advantages when it comes to energy, when it comes to the more green aspects of it. So we can use it, and that's the speciality. You can switch it on and off immediately. That's a matter of milliseconds to do that, and in fact we can switch it off between the sheets of a sheet fed machine, and that can save 10, 15, maybe even 20% of energy. And there are other applications for that. Then ozone free, that's of course a big point, and mercury free. So there is a clear, let's say, maybe future emphasis on that, specifically on those green factors, and I will talking about that in a few minutes, a little more. As I said, the lamp business is still our bread and butter at this time, and in this slide I just show you a little bit how it typically looks like. We have here a Heidelberg offset machine, a CD102, and you see two modules in the end of press. You easily slide it out and in for washing purposes, for maintenance purposes, and things like that. And then in the picture below, you see an interpress module which can be placed between the color stations, and the other pictures show a little bit how easy it is to change a lamp, a picture on the reflectors, and on the right side the switch cabinet, a very important part with all the electronics, with all the communication aspects of it and the electric concepts. And to the very right you see our power supplies, a very modular design. They can be stacked on top of each other. We have these power supplies for a few years now in our portfolio, and there is a big advantage of space saving because they are compact again and can be stacked on each other. And last but not least, there is a user interface which can be controlled by a special monitor, or it can be integrated into the user interface of the sheet-fed machine. I want to mention, it was mentioned before, again, the hot swap technology. When IST Metz designed a solution for the LED solutions, we did that in a way that we had a common infrastructure for, let's say, mounting, slide-in frames, all those aspects, electrical aspects, so that we can easily exchange a lamp solution to a LED solution, the so-called hot swap. So let's go into some facts and figures. The fact is that I really say that the fact is that we have since many years deliver systems to the industry, and in the last 5 years we have approximately 300 curing applications sold, but only to the sheet fed. I'm not mentioning here the web offset applications in packaging. It's just the sheet fed area, and the very clear majority were UV lamps for those solutions. And maybe an interesting figure for you, in average there are 5 lamps in a system. Typically there are 2, maybe 3 lamps in the end of press situation and 2 or 3 lamps in the interdecks of the machine. As I mentioned before, only a small percentage have been LED solutions, but interesting, since a little bit more than a year ago, we are seeing an increase in requests for LED. And this is good to see. And these LED are either completely replacing the lamp configuration. That means end of press there is an LED solution, and in interdecks there is an LED solution. Or what we see also now, and I personally think this is going to have a good and important future, is that in the end of press there is a lamp curing solution, and in the interdecks there is an LED. So this hybrid combination, I think, will have a strong future in the packaging industry, the packaging applications. So IST Metz, as I said before, is proud and capable to deliver really high-end, powerful systems. And this is good, specifically in the packaging industry where you have high-speed machines, where you have complex features to cure. So therefore, we suggest to our customers to go with high-end. You don't need to operate the machines or the curing application always at the very high end, but you have then a reserve for future applications. And who knows if there are different legislative requirements, which makes it more difficult to cure in the future. Who knows what's going on in 10 years? So it's good to have a reserve. And the same is true, of course, and maybe even more true for LED solutions. If you are having or purchasing as a customer an LED solution, it's good to have a reserve to operate it not right at the beginning at the limit. And we shouldn't forget there is also one thing. I mentioned that an LED solution or an LED bar will hold maybe 20,000 hours, maybe more. And over the lifetime, there is a small decrease in output power. It may be going down to 90 or to 80%. And you, as a customer, you don't want to go into a problem where you even have to reduce the machine speed in order to realize a proper curing. Therefore, it's good to have a strong and powerful system. And I have to show you those two pictures with the heating system. You don't want to operate your heating system always at full power. You want to have a reserve if it's really necessary. And then my favorite picture is that beautiful e-mountain bike where it's not a water bottle there. It's an extra battery. In fact, this is an e-bike with an extra battery. And so with this application, you don't need this extra battery all the time. You can do normal tours. But if you want to do an extra application, an extra tour, maybe crossing the Alps, it's good to have these possibilities to get the extra power in. So this is kind of that picture for me, which is also important for the packaging applications. At the end, if our customers are investing in a solution, it's good to go with a strong, powerful solution to secure the investment long term. And that was basically my message and my presentation. And I hope that I could give you some insights on packaging applications of IST Metz. And with that, I say thank you very much and wish you a good day.
Thank you very much to you, Joachim, for this valuable contribution. It was really interesting to see and to get the insights